I remember this day so well. It was right after school. Ian came into my classroom and I had him stay with a teacher who worked right across the hall from me while I met with his teacher for the conference. As I entered the room, I had 2 colleagues sitting at the table. This was odd, as a conference was typically only held by the classroom teacher. Only a short way through the conference, his teacher informed me that he was not performing as he should be, and it was their recommendation that he be held back in kindergarten. I cried that day. I cried more than I had in years. For the first time, I felt like a failure as a mother and as a teacher. In my hope to make a life for us, I was distracted from the one thing that mattered most to me. How was I a teacher and yet failing my own kindergartner at home? That first year was hard. I struggled to keep myself afloat, and Ian struggled with reading and writing. Despite the recommendations of my colleagues, I decided to have Ian move on to first grade. It took many years of continuing my profession as an educator, getting married, and having another little boy to convince myself that I was not a bad mother. It had also taken years of teaching experience and working closely with families to realize that I was not alone in my feelings and problems. The truth is that there are so many families of all sizes, from all backgrounds, that feel the same way. In fact, you probably feel the same way I did. That's why you are listening to this book. Regardless of your upbringing and how strongly you believe in ensuring that your child is adequately prepared for school, nothing can prepare you for raising and teaching children. My degree did not prepare me enough. Only time and experience has allowed me to recognize the factors in establishing an effective and supportive learning environment. Even then, what I did for my first child is incredibly different from what I did for my younger son, and the same goes for my classroom. As a working mother, it is incredibly easy to get caught up in going through the motions of everyday life. We forget to stop and really think about each individual and how what we are doing and what we are asking of them is affecting them. The reality of it all is that our kids are not the same. The kids that I teach on a daily basis are not the same. They each have their own uniqueness, their own quirks. What I have to do as a mom and teacher is identify those traits, really pay close attention and learn who they are, so that when it comes time to help them in their learning, when I challenge them to go outside their comfort zone, I am making decisions based on who they are versus what I have learned in school. As you listen to this book, you will find personal stories about my experiences as a mom, my 2 boys, my husband, my experiences as a teacher, and finally, my own upbringing. I do not disclose the names of students, and I have asked permission from my family to share their personal stories. I have always been a strong believer that it is through our personal stories that we make connections and learn. I will share the knowledge I have acquired through personal research, grad classes, and most importantly, my own life. Raising a child to be successful is challenging, especially as we are all being pulled in so many directions, but it is not impossible. I hope to share my tips, tricks, and practical information so that you can easily begin implementing right away. Keep in mind that so much of what I share in this book are my thoughts and opinions. After years of service in public education, I have found essential components that have been successful for so many kids and families from all backgrounds. I have worked tirelessly to help kids understand the meaning of learning versus simply regurgitating information. Take the information you get here and make adjustments to fit your needs and, most importantly, the needs of your child. I can assure you that, with time, dedication, and patience, you will begin to see a difference. Section 1. Understanding your child. As a parent, you know your children best during the early years of their lives. You can interpret their gibberish, and you know what they need in order to fall asleep, what soothes their worries, and the little things that bring them the most joy in life. It's an instinct, a sixth sense, a superpower that you gained the day you became a parent. There were many times during my early childhood when I had the feeling that my mother was watching me, as if she had eyes in the back of her head. She always seemed to